Let's do this. Get ready for the Dirt Life Show.
We are stoked to be with you guys tonight. We are on episode 20, and it's 2020.
2020.
So that's pretty cool, man. I'm stoked. I'm Georgie Hamill. This is episode 20 of the Dirt Life Show. Got my buddy Casey Peck with us.
What's up, guys and gals?
Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier before we lost the audio connection, but it's pretty cool, man. Like, I can't believe we've already done 20 episodes, and it's been the show's been on since August. The last show was in like late July, but so that's what, 4.5 months now, 5 months. So it's pretty cool to see that, man. I'm so pumped, and it would be really cool to make this thing go for a few years, dude. Like, I would think it would be awesome to be able to have this thing go on for all these years to come. I think it's cool that people can enjoy all the content like they're doing. You can do it on the road. You can do it, with iTunes. You can do it with YouTube. You can do it all these different platforms, and it's just cool to see that. We had our main platform so far has been basically on Facebook, but it's cool to see everybody else enjoying it. Like the iTunes is growing pretty cool, and it's neat. So we'll talk about some of the statistics in just a little bit, but I'm pumped, man. I really am. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys have been super awesome. It's really, really cool to have the support of everyone. We really enjoy you guys commenting. We want to get more interactive with you guys. We want to be able to do as much as possible. So join us on all of the social media platforms. Facebook, like I said, has been the biggest one so far. So feel free to comment on Facebook and let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys have planned for 2020. Slide into our DMs and talk to us as much as possible. I went to a supercross party this weekend with Brian Lopez, my crew chief, and it was cool because people said, "Oh, you guys have Ryan Sipes coming on the show this week," and
nice.
I said, "Yeah, come on in, and comment in and ask him some questions and stuff." So I want to thank you though, dude, for getting Ryan on the show. So that was pretty cool.
Definitely. Can't wait.
We want to thank our sponsors and stuff, but let's. How did you get to meet Ryan?
So back in 2007 or so, somewhere around there was a group of these pro moto guys and their mechanics that were doing RC stuff when they were out in California on off days.
So was Ryan doing like all the stuff he has now, like being this busy?
So I never saw him drive, but his mechanic, Scotty Atkins, was like a fiend. He was like,
he loves RC car racing.
He couldn't get enough.
That's cool.
Yep. And it was pretty cool. So we saw him at a couple races, and it took a minute for me to put two and two together because I wasn't following Supercross as much at the time. And, and then you see him win a couple weekends later, and it was like, wow, that was freaking super cool.
Yeah,
and just been following ever since. I mean, the guy's got a lot going on and pretty awesome.
He's a rad dude too. So Ryan Sipes is like we talked about it. I mentioned a little bit on the social media posts and stuff, and you were talking about it to me earlier. Like, he's got to be one of the most versatile guys on a motorcycle.
Yeah. So I've heard him. I don't know if you've heard this one yet, but I've heard him called the Swiss Army. Swiss
Really?
Army guy. Yeah. And I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. The General's a pretty awesome title, but man, to be called this.
Yeah, because he has that show, the General Sipes on RedBull TV or whatever.
Right. But to be called the Swiss Army Rider, you think about that.
Yeah, that's like, cool.
That's one guy for every situation.
So he does. We're trying to figure out early. He does supercross and motocross. That's where he started.
Right.
Flat track. What else?
Hill climb. And enduro, and I think, again, I don't know if it's called hard enduro. I don't know the difference. But,
yeah, neither do I.
But definitely enduro as well. And to be able to get in the top of each one of those, you know what I mean? That's so respectful.
It is pretty badass. So hill climb, enduro, like the ISDE stuff. And I think you were saying earlier, before the audio dropped out, was that he was the first American. We can confirm this with him.
Yeah. First American to win the ISDE ever.
Dang, that's pretty crazy.
And I think that was 2015.
I think that's so
I'm almost
awesome.
positive it was, yeah. That's just insane. And that was kind of like when he first got going again to do this different stuff. And imagine how, taking that leap of faith and saying, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do it different. And then you go do
instead of just doing motocross and supercross?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then doing the most gnarliest thing that on the world stage and then winning it. Like, and no American's ever done that.
Well, Dakar's going on right now. I wonder if he's going to step into Dakar too. May as well.
No kidding.
So yeah, you guys should check out that show though. It's called General Sipes on Red Bull TV.
Yep.
It's super awesome, and you get a little bit peek of it in like behind the scenes of Ryan's life and stuff like that. And that's kind of what triggered me to start talking to you about it. You're like, oh yeah, and then you messaged him, and he was able to come on the show. So we can't wait to get him on the show. Since we're kind of behind schedule a little bit, let me run through the sponsors and things like that.
Of course.
So we want to first of all, like I said, we want everybody to engage more. So come in and Mike Tree just chimed in. GNCC, that's another genre.
Oh, yeah.
So we want everybody to come in and talk to us. So keep coming in. Come in the comments. Come into our DMs, everything. We have the dirtlifeshow.com. So go visit the website. We got merch on there. We got all kinds of fun stuff. You have links to the iTunes. We had some really cool stuff, man. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank Shock Therapy. We talked to you again before the audio dropped out that Cody's going to go get his shocks done. So we're interested to see what he comes back with and what he says. I think his car is going to be amazing, man.
He's so excited, I'll bet.
Dude, he is. So if you guys want a discount on Shock Therapy stuff, use the code DIRTLIFE. Go over their website, buy a bunch of stuff. They got all kinds of cool stuff, sway bar links, steering racks, a bunch of hard parts, apparel, all that good stuff. And if you want any service stuff, give them a call and mention the Dirt Life when you call in. Zollinger Racing Products, those guys are bitching, man. I talk about it all the time. They have amazing products. Use the code DIRTLIFE on ZollingerRacingProducts.com. They just make amazing stuff, so go check them out. Rigid Industries, those guys, obviously Brett Carpenter over there, man, they make good products, but he just holds a special piece in my heart, man. Saved my life. So the guys at Solderweld, we're going to go have lunch tomorrow. Maybe even have some tacos for Tuesday. So
maybe.
The guys at Solderweld got some fun stuff going on this year. They're going to step up their game. So it'll be cool to see those guys. Anaheim 1 was really cool, man. We got to let's talk with Ryan about that. Let's skip that for now since we're a little bit behind schedule.
Sure.
So we have a little bit of Dirt Life Show statistics, the year in review. Like you said, episode 20, first show of 2020. So that's super cool.
2020.
We've only been alive, or Dirt Life Show's been alive for 4.5, 5 months now. And it's not the hugest show. We got a small audience because, off-roading is just a small audience. And so it's cool to see that all of the views and stuff that we're getting. We have just under 200,000 minutes viewed video, and it's only basically on Facebook because we haven't, promoted YouTube or anything yet. So hopefully we can get that number up in 2020, but I'm still pumped on it. Like, I'm proud of that. That's a pretty big number in my eyes. And one of the best things that I was looking at the statistics was the duration of time that people actually listen to the show was right around 80% of the show. So being an hour and a half show, or even longer sometimes, that's pretty dang cool, man, because that means that our audience is really engaged in listening to the stuff that we're talking about. So
definitely.
I am pumped, but I want to get that up. Let's try to get that higher. So interact with us and send us messages so that we can give you guys the content that you guys want, and we can make it a better show for you guys. It's important for us to have you guys interact, and we want to know what you guys are going to be doing for 2020 as well. So send us messages of people that you want to talk to, people that you want to see on the show, or stuff that you want us to ask our future guests, and it'll be cool. Man, do you remember the time when you got suspension for your dirt bike?
Yeah, first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually.
Like, how did it feel for you?
It was Enzo stuff. Justin McMurch.
That stuff was awesome.
Justin McMurch talked me into that, and I went for it.
Good old Ross Maeda.
Man, I got that stuff and was like, "Are you kidding me? This,
game changer."
It just, you can't believe the difference. Like, what was I doing before?
So Cody's probably going to have that same thought when he gets back, and I think he's going on
stoked.
Wednesday. We'll
Nice.
we'll see what happens. Like I said, chime in, let us know what you guys have going on in 2020. We have some rad stuff planned, so we would definitely want to talk about it with you guys. So having a backup plan, that's what I want to talk about. It's definitely crazy to know that you need a backup plan in life, right? Like, everybody says, well, I'm going to go to work, and who knows what happens at work. Everybody is disposable, in my opinion, right? So Steve Jobs got overthrown from being the president of his own company,
right,
and one of the biggest companies in the world, right? So you always have to have a backup plan. And Ryan Sipes, our featured guest, I don't know if he had a backup plan. We can ask him, but he's clearly making the most of his new backup plan, we'll call it. He was a professional supercross and motocross rider, did fantastic, super fast, did a awesome when he was an amateur, and now he's doing all these different disciplines, riding motorcycles, and it's pretty dang cool, man.
It is.
And, we were forced to have a backup plan when we were young, too.
Right.
I remember you told me, was it last show or maybe the show before that you helped with, was your dad gave you a 1 year of, I don't know what you want to call it, but of a growth to be able to do supercross and motocross, right?
Yeah, it was basically there's no college unless you want it, and or you can turn pro, and I'll give you 1 full year of you just training and racing.
And giving you the best possible chance of success.
Giving me the best that he absolutely could, which is I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's awesome. Yep. That's a really good opportunity, but I'm sure that through those discussions with your family, you probably came up with a backup plan just in case, no?
Yeah, and sometimes with the backup plan, you don't realize you're creating one. Like other people are actually helping you create one, and you don't really.
Oh, by putting slights in your mind and stuff.
Sometimes you don't realize it until, like for me, again, if we're going back to me, I was helping do electrical work with real good close friends of the family as I was growing up, and they just needed help. But at the same time, I was learning something, and
that's valuable,
and that's what I'm doing. And I think maybe in the back of my mind, I thought, I could maybe do that, but. Yeah, when you're going full bore to that goal, whatever it is, you're not really thinking about it.
But it's important to still have, though. And
you should be thinking about it, I guess,
and that's kind of my point why I wanted to bring it up, was because I didn't have a backup plan. I thought, I'm just this cool dirt bike racer, right? Like,
right.
I'm going to always be able to ride dirt bikes.
Right.
But the fact is that even if you don't get hurt, you can only ride it for a duration of time, and that's it. And then you still have to go get a job or whatever it is.
Right.
I had like a forced backup plan, and I want to ask Ryan like how he dealt with the stuff to transition into the new stuff that he's doing. But I got hurt, so I didn't even know. I was telling at this lunch meeting I had the other day, I was telling these guys I got hurt and I had no idea what to do. Sitting in the hospital, I was like, shit, man, like I have no plan, nothing.
Right.
And so my family and I started talking about it, and computers was a good thing at the time to get into. Being paralyzed or told I was going to be sitting in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I said, shit, well, I can do a keyboard because my arms still work. So I remember the first day of school, I didn't even know how to turn on a computer. Like, people were looking at me like, what the heck is this dude getting into?
Right.
Like, he has no clue. It's like, it was hilarious, though. And so my backup plan was forced upon me, but it actually turned out pretty good.
Absolutely.
And that taught me a lot in my life, though, because now I look for backup plans now. If I'm going to go option A, I still have option B just in case.
Right.
And that's probably a lot of the way that you deal with stuff now, too, no?
Yeah, for sure. In my trade, in fact, this weekend, something specifically happened like that. A good friend, I'll say Jeff Furrier, had a problem at his house with the meter. Anyways, I told him I'll be there Saturday, and I had a B, and a C plan just in case.
All lined up just for one job?
Yeah, because we had the power company there. The power company is going to show up, turn it off, and let us do our thing, and then go back. So you can't have them wait. So A, B, and C ready to go.
So we had something kind of like that happen tonight. Like I went to option C actually with the distribution of the content, and it seems to be working pretty good. We still have some stuff that we got to work out with our internet service provider, but hopefully it hangs on.
Thanks to Ray again for helping.
Our buddy Ray, man, he's a lifesaver when it comes to internet service issues. But so thanks to him. Well, we've used up a lot of our time with those little issues. About the only other thing that I wanted to talk about before we get on the phone with Ryan or on FaceTime with Ryan was being good at multiple things. So most people, I think, are good at a few things, right? But he took it to another level, dude. Like being good at that many disciplines or that many genres of motorcycle riding. I mean, dude, most people can only do flat track and that's it, right?
Right.
He can win at almost all these disciplines.
It's so crazy. It really is.
Can you imagine? Like, I can't wait to ask him, like, does he have to work on all of these bikes and set up all these bikes and go through all of it?
I think he does. Again, that's why there's so much respect to what he's doing.
I couldn't even learn how to set up a freaking RC car. Like,
Well, imagine going. There's going to be some things that cross over, like body position and stuff. But then a lot of that, some of that changes because you're trying to just get traction on the dirt or on the.
Well, even wheel size and all kinds of.
Oh yeah,
things, right? Suspension,
totally different.
And how do you even know how it feels? So it's going to be really cool to talk to him about that. And let us know if you guys are good at multiple things too. Like I can't do a backflip to save my life, right? And I couldn't do it even before I got paralyzed.
Right.
I'm just not good at it, right? So let us know in the comments and let us know if you guys are good at multiple things because that'll be cool. Maybe we can talk to Ryan and have some conversation with him about that. Let's take our commercial break now, and then we'll get Ryan Sipes on the line. So we will see you guys in just a minute. Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period.
Introducing Rigid's new SRL Series light bar, featuring a sleek 20-inch curved housing, ultra-wide forward projecting beam pattern, and a unique halo backlight feature offered in 4 color options. The SRL Series light bar's new optic combination projects light over 70 degrees wide, with more than enough distance to safely drive in low visibility conditions, making it the perfect lighting solution for most applications. The halo backlight feature is offered in red, white, blue, or amber, and is wired independently from the forward projecting light. Instantly transition from style to function with the flip of a switch, making it easier than ever to own the night.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in the Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Hey guys, George Hamill here to talk to you about one of our sponsors, Solder Weld. Who is Solder Weld, and what is their impact on the off-road community? Well, some of you may have seen Solder Weld's booths at the races, Mint 400, Vegas to Reno, Score and Snore events, and the UTV World Championship. You're seeing their stickers and sponsor wraps on more and more racers' vehicles every year. But who are they, and what do they have to offer us as off-road enthusiasts? Well, late last year, Solderweld introduced their new off-road repair kit to the off-road industry and sold out their first week. The interest was overwhelming, as many off-roaders already knew of Solderweld's aluminum radiator repair rods, and now they were included in a convenient carry kit in camo or black. If you're a racer of any type or off-road enthusiast like myself, you're going to want to take a close look at this product. Solderweld has combined some of their most elite products into one small kit that fits perfectly under your seat or strapped into your roll cage and allows you to make some insane fixes anywhere you go. How many of us have been in a race or out on the trail and got a rock chip in a radiator or a brake line? We've literally seen a top-tier desert race truck at the 2019 Mint 400 taken out by a simple rock to the radiator. If they would have had an off-road repair kit on board, they could have been back up and running in just a minute. The kit includes everything you need to work on dirty aluminum, stainless steel, copper, and many other metals. Solderweld's cutting-edge technology allows you to make these fixes with extremely low heat and incredible high tensile strength, leaving you with a lasting fix every time. Don't be that guy who broke down on the side of the trail. Get your off-road repair kit today. Your friends will thank you. All right, we are back. We got a couple pictures on the screen of our featured guest, Ryan Sipes. Man, he some of the stuff that he does, Case, is pretty bitchin', dude. Like,
So awesome.
He's got some pictures that he had sent in. Dude, he can get so spanked on a dirt bike. It's sweet, man. So seeing those pictures was sick. You had mentioned that he does the ISDE. He does, well, we want to ask him about the hard enduro, the difference between enduro and hard enduro. He did the RedBull Straight Rhythm. That was a two-stroke event, which looks super cool. And obviously he does flat track and hill climb and stuff. So I can't wait to see what he has to say about some of that stuff, man. Let's introduce our featured guest, Ryan Sipes, man. How's things going tonight, Ryan?
It's going good. Ready for bed, but I'm up for this.
Dude, you are awesome for
Thanks,
being a
buddy.
trooper and staying up with us, dude. We really appreciate it. Yeah, man. So I got to admit, like, hearing some of the stuff that you've done and watching the General Sipes stuff on the Red Bull channel was just insane to me. Like, I can't believe you're that good at that many disciplines. So kudos to you, bro. Like, that is so sick.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just I like to do a lot of different things and happen to be good at some of them. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot different than just doing one thing where you get to practice one thing all the time and you kind of get in your own routine. I have a bunch of different routines, depending on the time of year and what's coming up for me. So
Dude, I can only imagine. Well, let's backtrack a little bit, man. Where did you grow up?
In Kentucky, from a town called Flaherty, and been here my whole life.
Small town?
Pretty small. We don't have a red light or a McDonald's, so it's pretty small.
That is pretty small, man. We thought we lived in a small town. We grew up where they didn't have pavement as well, so like it's cool to hear those stories, man. And you've done some pretty significant things in your life. What made you get into dirt bikes? But we'll call it. What made you get into the dirt life?
My dad used to race, and he was just raced locally and everything, and bought us dirt bikes when we were kids, and yeah, the rest is history. Started off local, just doing the stuff around here, and then as we got better, we started going to more bigger races. And I guess when I was about 12 or 13, we started doing like the big amateur nationals and stuff like that, and yeah, went from there.
You started off like a PW50 or something, or you started off super young?
Yeah, JR50 for my second birthday, and I used to ride it with training wheels around the yard. Mom and Dad's got videos and stuff, and then went to P-Dub, and then I'm too old for Cobras. I think they came out like the year I moved out of the 50 class. So you
got siblings too, right?
Stuff. Yeah, I got a brother. He's about 3.5 years younger. He was one of the first like factory Cobra guys.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang, that is pretty cool, huh? So you guys did all the amateur nationals together and stuff, just in different age groups?
Yeah, he was always basically a class or two behind me. And he was really good too. He turned pro and did a bunch of pro stuff, just had a bunch of injuries, and he's now drives a monster truck for Monster Jam. So
I think I saw that. So he's one of the guys, like I've done Lucas Oil off-road, like short course stuff for a while in a side-by-side. And one of the guys that was Todd LeDuc, he used to do short course, and now he does monster trucks. So it's cool to see all those different, I guess it's kind of like what you're doing. Those genres converge.
yeah, and he's good at it too. He won his, let's see, this is his 4th year, but his first 2 years he won the championship, and last year I think he was 5th, and he just had his first show of the year, and he won all 3 shows on the weekend. So he's
No
pretty
way,
good
really?
at it. But he's one of those guys that's good at everything. The guys that tick you off because you work super hard, and he doesn't even try, and he's better than you. That's him.
So what'd you guys do growing up then? Do you guys always battling?
Yeah, we rode basically every day after school. We got off the bus and got on our dirt bikes and went and rode, and did all kind. I mean, he, like I said, he's good at everything. He could always ride BMX and skateboards and snowboards and all the stuff. I can't do anything but ride dirt bike. I'm singularly talented.
We were actually just talking about that.
It was cool though. I mean, I wouldn't be as good as I am if it wasn't for him, us battling all the time, pushing each other.
Yeah, that makes a good point. Like Casey and I both grew up right next to each other, living next to each other, and we both do the same thing too. He was a little bit ahead of me, and usually faster than I was, and it was always like playing catch up. So I kind of feel like your younger brother trying to catch up.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's really neat to hear those stories, man. Because did your dad make you work on your dirt bikes and stuff too?
Yeah, I mean,
if you can't start it, you can't
exactly
ride it.
Yeah, I mean, well, he works full time, still does, and did the whole time we were racing. So it was basically if we couldn't do the filter and change oil and check the tires and tighten the chain and all that stuff, that was at first. Then we didn't ride, and then getting all. I remember going to Dad. We had this old van and then an old motorhome, but we pulled this 16-foot trailer. I still got it, but with 8 big bikes in it.
Oh,
and,
dang.
Just 2 mod bikes, 2 stock bikes for both boys. So, we spent a lot of late nights in this shop working on bikes just to get ready to go to Loretta's or wherever it was.
Well, you still do some of the same work in the same shop that you're in?
No, not this shop. It was at their, my mom and dad's house. But I do a lot of work here too, for sure.
We talk about that a lot in the Dirt Life. Casey and I grew up in the same kind of atmosphere, and it teaches you a lot when you're a kid. You have to work on your own stuff. You got to maintain it. Your parents give you these opportunities to do this great stuff, but you're real goal oriented. You're focused. You can understand how to work on things. Are you instilling a lot of that with your kids too?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, my son's only 5, but try to teach him how to work on stuff and teach him that if it's broke, you fix it. One of those things. Not if it's broke, you throw it away. That's
there you go.
One thing that I was taught and I believe in. And if there's a problem, you figure it out. You don't just give up and walk away. You figure out the problem. So I'm trying to.
You can probably attest to that.
Yeah, and I was going to say you're like a walking example of that, right? Because you're like, okay, I'm going to race this. Well, I got to figure it out, right?
yeah, just a little bit, right?
Right.
You got any funny stories with your brother?
I don't know. I guess the time he was he built a freestyle ramp. He can build stuff too. Go figure. But he built a full freestyle ramp. It's not a full. It's like a pit bike size freestyle ramp. It's probably 5 foot tall, and it's got wheels on it and everything. Rolled around. He put it on the dock in the pond, and he was doing backflips on his bicycle. But one time he let the bike go when he's upside down. Well, he landed in the water and the bike sprocket landed right on his back of his head.
Oh,
Gashed his head open real big. And he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I cut my head open. You got to take me to the hospital." And I'm like, "Okay." But he's like, "You can't tell Mom." So
You can't tell her.
yeah. So he goes and gets an old T-shirt, cuts it up, and shoves it under his hat because he's bleeding so bad. Puts his hat on, and we sit there and eat supper with him. And then I take him to the hospital, which I'm not his guardian. He was, under 18, so I couldn't even get him into the hospital. We had to get there, and then I had to call Mom and Dad, say, "Hey, we're at the hospital." So it was funny.
so he got shown up anyways. His mom figured it out pretty quick.
Even worse.
Yeah, they busted us.
That's funny. Well, now you know the trick, just in case one of your kids goes to the hospital, right? You got to make sure they don't have.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's the problem. My son's 5, but ever since I did the thing with, donations with Travis Pastrana, that's his favorite person on earth, and all he wants to watch and all he wants to do is freestyle.
Oh,
and I'm like, dude, no, you can't. We're not doing freestyle. If you're gonna ride, we're just gonna ride. We're not gonna do tricks. But that's all. It's all he wants to do.
Does he ever see the stuff? Well, if he watches YouTube, he probably sees stuff where they're backflipping at Travis's compound or whatever they call it up there.
Yeah, well, and I've been up there, and done all that stuff, and he sees the video, and so.
Great. Well, that's going to be awesome, though, if he starts riding. I think that's super cool. And plus, you're teaching him right, too.
He already is. He's been riding since he was about 2.5. So he's raced twice now, and I just got him he was on a P-Dub, and I got him a Cobra, and so he's riding that now, and so he's having a good time.
Have you guys looked at any of those electric bikes? I've seen some of those little mini electric bikes look sick.
Yeah, they're cool. He's got an electric trials bike, the Osset, and it's awesome. He rides that thing quite a bit. But those little electric KTMs are just too expensive. I ain't spending $5,500 on a 50.
Ooh, that is pretty pricey.
That ain't happening.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, tell us a little bit about your 2019, man. You had what I would consider a fantastic year. You won the ISDE. Man, you did. I thought you did awesome at RedBull Straight Rhythm.
Definitely.
And you had so many different things that you did, man. Like, what were some of the highlights?
Yeah, thanks. It was a good year, man. I mean, winning the Hawaiian Supercross was cool. Winning the flat track, ISDE, obviously. Yeah, it was a real good year, and I think kind of proved that it can be done, that you can race a bunch of stuff and still be good at it, and prove that 35's not too old. I can still go fast. So I'm just thankful for Red Bull, coming along and making my crazy idea kind of, take it to the next level.
That is really cool to have a company that supports you in your dreams like that, man. And that'll trickle down too, because it'll show, his son how to do those things and be able to give his son the understanding of what it takes to be able to go through this. Like, we were going to ask you too, like, what has been some of the hardest parts? Because it's not just going out and understanding how to race around a track. You got to figure out all the tech specs for the bikes. You got to test them, suspension, setting, all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah. That's another hard part is, you got basically 4 bikes that have to be basically race ready at all times, at least 4, and getting them all set up and then going to ride them and going, oh yeah, all right, now we're on flat track, now I got to do it this way. And so, like I said, it's been a challenge to, that usually, I mean, everything I've ever done, if you really don't know how to do it or what to do, you kind of look back at who's done it before.
Yeah.
Go, how did that guy do it? Let me try that. It's not possible with what I'm doing. Nobody's really ever done it before. So there's not a blueprint or, a mentor I can call and say, hey, how'd you do this? Because I'm kind of the first one to do it. So, but that kind of makes it fun too. I'm kind of figuring it out on my own and just making up stuff as I go, and some of it works and some of it don't, but I'm having a lot of fun.
That's the part to me that seems so crazy is like, obviously you can ride, right? You're talented, you can ride. I get it that it's different, but to me, like the perfect mechanic stuff that has to happen on all those disciplines, like that has to be so different. Or maybe I'm way off base here. It seems like there'd be just total different tricks for every single.
Are you kind of talking about like the whole Chad Reed or Nick Way thing where they're super, super picky about everything? You can't be that way?
Well, I'd imagine you have to be at somewhat, but at the same time, I mean, like when you've had to figure this wrenching out, that's different. So are you picking up all these special little things that you like now in each discipline, or is it more just like, you know what, it's good enough, let's go?
A little bit of both. I mean, I kind of have to have the attitude of ride what you got,
right?
Because I don't have factory support or anything like that. But I do my homework on how I should set it up. I talk to a ton of people. I ain't scared to go ask somebody, like, hey, what do you do? And half the time you get 14 different opinions, and then you just have to figure out what works the best for me. But I mean, I think it's been like I said, a little bit of an experiment, and it's been some things work and some things don't. But yeah, like you said, I'm figuring out now what I like and what kind of works for me, because what works for other people don't really always work for me. So kind of figuring that out now, and I'm hoping that that'll help me through this year to do hopefully as well as I did, or maybe better.
That'll be awesome, man. Do you have a favorite thing that happened this year, or like a favorite accomplishment that you did?
There's so many.
I don't know, man.
Well, yeah.
I mean, ISDE was pretty special. Just considering the fact they almost didn't put me on the team because they didn't think I'd be fast enough anymore, because I don't live in the woods now. I don't race GNCC, I don't whatever. And so then I went to training camp, and I beat them all. I beat all of our guys. I was the top guy. So that was cool. And I wasn't the top guy at the race, but I was right there, and I contributed and had a bunch of good days. I was best guy on day one. And so to do that was pretty big. And I wasn't there. I was supposed to be on the team the first year they won the team championship, and I got hurt the day before we left. And so I won it as an individual, but I never got that team trophy. So that was really big for me to do that.
Yeah, that is super cool. Does that mean you got a definite invite next year to come back on the team?
You would think so, but we'll see. We'll see what they say. They did say they were happy with the way I rode, and they want me to keep that week clear on my schedule. And I told them, as long as you want me, I'll go. That's one of my favorite races, and I like it. I'll keep going as long as I'm fast enough.
What was the question you were going to ask him about hard enduro?
Oh, so following the series or the show, I've heard that word used before, and I don't know if I completely understand. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, or is it maybe just is it a whole different thing? It kind of sounds like it is.
Hard enduro?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Okay.
Basically, hard enduro is find what looks the most impossible, and that's what we got to go up. There's no speed involved whatsoever. All like motocross skills they don't translate at all.
Oh, is that like that Ayresburg kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
trial skill is what is important there, which I don't have a ton of. But yeah, it's a lot different.
We just had somebody comment in saying, isn't Bradley right out? He said, how about when Pooh almost missed a moto at my LLQ because him and Malcolm were fishing in a pond?
Yeah. Oh, Bradley. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. He's good at fishing too. But that was his thing though. Like I was always pretty serious and worked hard and trained hard and everything. He kind of didn't have to because he was so good, and he cared a little bit more about fishing than he did about racing or about whatever else. So, but yeah, that's a funny story too.
Did he let you drive the monster truck ever?
Yeah, nope.
No, that's what everybody says, but he don't get to bring one home. The
Oh,
only
he
time
just shows up.
the only time he ever gets to drive is at the shows.
So I got a bad back, and I always have the question, like, does his back hurt after hucking those big-ass jumps? And, like, it looks gnarly.
Yeah, he doesn't say much about it, and he's beat up. I mean, he's had so many injuries, and I mean, he can swing his golf club and throw his back out, and then he's down for a week. But he's never had too much trouble out of the monster truck.
That's awesome, man. What do you do with, like, switching back to your stuff, like, what do you do with your mentality? Like, when you go in, I know you've mentioned a couple times that you kind of just go in with an open mind, but, like, do you prepare yourself the weeks prior to those certain events that you're doing?
Yeah, as much as I can. I mean, it's tough when you have like 3 or 4 races that are all different, kind of stacked up on each other, or like Daytona last year when I did the supercross and then the GNCC the next day and then the flat track like 4 days later. That's kind of like you just ride what you can when you can and try to get, everyone in as much as you can. But if it's a little better when they're together. So if you have, say 2 supercrosses within a couple weeks, then I can just focus on that. And then once that's over, get ready for the flat track that's coming up next or whatever. But that's been the part where sometimes I'm, was scratching my head last year going, you can't practice all of it. So you have to prioritize and go what's the most important. And last year I hadn't raced supercross and I hadn't been on a supercross track in 6 years. So I didn't want to go there and make a fool of myself or get myself hurt. So I spent almost every day on supercross track, which made it where I didn't ride very much flat track or off road. And that showed at the GNCC, which I hurt my shoulder there, but at the flat track, I got 10th, but I wasn't good. I wasn't as good as I wanted to be just because I hadn't been on the bike as much. So
still accomplishing that is like a feat in itself, man. So kudos to you. Like I said before, did you have any favorite, like, I mean, you probably can't pick a favorite genre, like you don't like, flat track more than supercross and stuff. I know where your heart is, but did you have a favorite event?
I
even if it wasn't
Sturgis,
like with like the riding, like the RedBull Straight Rhythm looks super cool.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah, it is really cool. Hawaii Supercross was awesome. I mean, even I won all the motos, so that was great. But just being in Hawaii and like when we got done at the track, we went back to our house on the beach and hung out, and that's pretty cool. Like you don't get to do that at most races. But even Erzberg it was raining and cold, and we're up on a mountain the whole time, or in an iron mine, and it was still pretty cool. Just that experience being there and seeing what's possible on a dirt bike and trying to do it myself. Yeah, I mean, I've had a really good year, but a ton of cool experiences.
I was going to say those experiences are going to be so awesome to look back on, and especially since you're documenting, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the Hawaiian Supercross was badass because your brother knows how to surf too, and he just went out there and killed it.
He knows how to surf too.
He probably could. I wouldn't challenge him to a surfing contest because he'd probably kill it first try.
Ryan, is there a discipline that maybe you don't put as much into, but it because you don't focus so hard or put pressure on yourself, it comes easier, or not really?
No.
Okay.
I would imagine being at the top of the sport is just like you got to put in like super amounts of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. It's not just just for instance, most people when they go ride their dirt bike, they call up their buddies and they go ride and do a couple laps and then stop and talk and then do a couple more laps.
Yeah.
Like I don't do that. That's not productive and it doesn't do me any good. It's fun.
Sure.
And I would like to do that, but I got to go do my motos and practice and hit one corner 50 times just to figure it out, stuff like that, and spend a ton of time running and bicycling and all that stuff. So, but that's just part of the job. I'm not complaining at all. I like it, and I've been doing it a long time, and I just kind of know what it takes to do it.
Well, thanks for taking the time to do all this stuff with us, man. I know you're so busy.
Absolutely.
What has the partnership with Red Bull, how's that contributed? Because it sounds like they gave you an opportunity to do this series and really showcase it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's been great, man. They treat me really good and they take care of me, and it seems like they're invested in it as much as I am. Just, the guy that I deal with at Red Bull calls me once a week at minimum. Hey, how's it going? And I'm like, well, what'd you need? He says, no, I'm just checking in. Like, that's pretty cool for a sponsor. That's not normal. But it's really cool. And it's good when, I know how much I put into it. And if they're that invested too, and that interested and want to see it succeed, you're going to have good results.
Yeah, that actually really makes a strong point with me because, even with having Yamaha support and all these different things when in the side-by-side racing, it was always the opposite way. Like, nobody ever called unless you told them what was going on. And that's the way that, we were brought up in supercross and motocross and stuff too. It's like you got to continually give them reports, but who knows if they even read them. So that's awesome that Ryan has that support from those guys, and they're asking him too. We got a comment from Kent Severson asking, are you excited about going for 3 in a row at Buffalo, Chip?
Hey, Kent, how are you? Glad to hear from you. Yeah, I'm hoping to, man. That's a fun race too. That's a really cool, just that whole week up there is cool. And 2 in a row. So I don't know. I ride good there, and I always feel good, and that kind of fits my style. And there's going to be a little bit more competition this year, I think, with Henry Wiles jumping down into the singles class. But if he goes faster than me, kudos to him, because I would think I was going pretty good. And I think I'll, hopefully we'll have a good battle and have some fun out there.
Dude, I love that because I can hear the fire in his voice.
Oh, yeah, you can see it.
That's pretty awesome, man.
So, Ryan, real quick, let me go back to the Red Bull guy for a second. So, it's obvious that they need you, but it's so cool that they're putting it's so in-depth with the family. Like, to me, that is so awesome to watch. I love seeing Jack in the first race and stuff, and it's something that my wife and I are watching, and Red Bull Straight Rhythm when Kenny knocks you out, and Jack is just, I can see it, he can feel it, you know what I mean? You guys were one in that moment, and it was just so cool for you to come to him and say, dude, I got knocked out by one of the best guys, if not the best guy in that, on the freaking planet. And just all those little pieces of that are pretty cool. So I could see how it's not just a thing for them. They're checking in. This is important to follow the family and the whole thing. It's pretty cool. It really is.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I thought that was a good teaching moment for Jack to, you don't always have to win, man. If you try hard and I rode good, I just got beat.
Barely.
And that happens.
Barely.
Sometimes you get beat, and then you can't, that's not the end of the world. You just keep on rolling.
Not gonna lie, like I'm a super Roxon fan, but I might have been rooting for Ryan a little bit more of that one.
No doubt.
Did you watch A1 at all?
I almost had him in that first one.
Yeah, dude, so close, man, so close. Did you watch A1 at all?
Oh yeah. I'm a super fan, man. I don't let them go by. I watch them.
What'd you think? Did it make you want to get out there?
No, I'm not ready yet. But I like watching it. I study all that stuff, and those are guys I'll be racing in 2 months.
Yep.
At Daytona. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was good racing. The track looked gnarly, and but everybody was close, and it's stacked, man. From first to 15th there's no slouches in there.
Well, look at the guys in Last Chance. Like, what?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's crazy.
That 250 Last Chance. I don't know the names of the dudes, but that dude that parked him in the last turn.
Yeah,
that was sweet.
Yeah,
he definitely wanted
that
it.
other guy had to be ticked off.
Dude, so pissed, man. Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad that you still pay attention to it. What did you think of the track though? Because I thought it was super skinny. Like, it looked like it wasn't very wide.
I think they were just riding the edges. I don't think it was any more skinny or than any other track. I think they were just riding the edges because
So rough.
it doesn't, you can't see it just watching it, or if you've never ridden a supercross track, but coming into the corner a foot further inside than being all the way on the bales or coming in a foot further inside, it makes a big difference in the next corner. The amount of speed you can carry and all that stuff. And if there's, bumps or whatever, you're trying to go around them, not hit them. I think they're just riding the edges, and it was super slick. As the night went on by the main events, it was crazy slick. So that's why those guys were sliding sideways and everything. It looked like there was a kind of a pocket, like this, but where Fortner crashed. It looked like there was a pocket in that drag in there, and he spun. He got sideways on it. So
yeah, a few guys did that. Even Cincerello was complaining about that. Well, we're looking forward to watching you at Daytona, and obviously, are you going to do the General Sipes stuff again this year then with Red Bull?
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Awesome. What's the first event that you guys are going to do?
I think Daytona. There's a small chance I'll do Dallas Supercross, but I don't think I'll be ready by then. So it kind of just depends. If I feel really good, then I might go, but for sure I'll do Daytona.
You were talking about, his family and stuff. What do you usually do with your family for fun when you're not out there on the track? And obviously you have a lot of time on your hands prepping for all this stuff, but you got to make time for them too.
Yeah. I try to take them to some of the races, and like most of them went to Hawaii, which was cool. Like, I figure it's a lot of money to take them over there and everything, but I'm going to be there racing anyway. Why don't we just turn it into a little vacation? And we did that quite a bit this year. And doing that, my daughter plays volleyball, which is cool. She's really into it, and she's good. And so that's been fun I don't know how to play volleyball, but I'm trying to ask the coaches, how can I do this and do that, try to work with her, get her as good as she can be. And my son just wants to ride.
Your bro can.
Yeah, your brother's probably good at that. He could teach her.
I was waiting for that.
I should just ask him. He is a pro at it. But then my son just wants to ride, and then my little girl, she's almost 2. As long as I take her out and ride around on dirt bikes sometimes, or really anything, she's a little daddy's girl. Just whatever I want to do, she's in. So, but we try to balance it. I could work sun up to sundown, but at a certain point I got to shut it down and hang out with them.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me too.
Try to keep that balance.
That's awesome, man. Well, what's the future hold for you in 2020? I know you're going to do that series, but any more events or kind of the same schedule?
Same idea for the schedule, but some different events. I'm going to do 2 hard enduros this year. Erzberg again, and then this one called Megawatt. It's in Poland. It's supposed to be pretty gnarly. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll do Hawaii Supercross again. I'll do Daytona Supercross. Probably going to do Australian and New Zealand Supercrosses. And then I'll do 1 or 2 nationals, ISDE again. A couple of the flat tracks. I'll do 3 TTs again this year. So planning a whole bunch of stuff, just not exactly the same races as last year.
There's only 52 weeks in a year, man. When do you get to sleep?
Yeah, when he's not wrenching.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
It's busy, dude. But I mean, I'm not gonna say no. I'm 35 and I still get to race dirt bikes and get paid and travel all over. I'm gonna do it as long as I can keep doing it. I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's I'm blessed to be in this position, and I'm gonna live it up while I can.
Oh, I can tell you that you got some super fans over here. We're going to keep following you. All right, let's I didn't send you these questions, but we're going to do a rapid fire Q&A real quick. You want to go back and forth, Case? You ask him for a question.
Sure. Go for it.
What's your favorite movie?
Hot Rod.
That's a good one. All right, you go.
Favorite food.
What'd you say?
Favorite food.
Oh, I can't eat it, but lasagna.
All right.
I have acid reflux real bad, and I can't even eat it, but it's really good.
Favorite flavor
Anything
of ice
Italian.
cream?
Vanilla.
Well, you're going stock
I'm
vanilla.
boring.
All right. What's the next one?
Favorite soda?
Red Bull.
Perfect. Good answer. M&M's or Skittles?
M&M's.
Do you have any pets at home?
Yeah, we got 2 dogs. One's a beagle with an IQ of 2, and one's some kind of other mutt. I don't know, but they're good old dogs.
Well, I think I know that you're probably going to answer this question with spending time with your family, but when you're not racing, what's your favorite thing to do?
Besides that, I don't know. I don't do a whole lot, really. I like playing. I like golf a little bit. I like basketball quite a bit.
Oh, right on.
I just don't do a whole lot. I don't have a lot of time, so.
All right, what's the next one?
If you were in the movie Hangover, which character would you be? This one's always a mess, isn't it?
I love this one. You can, I always tell everybody, you can pick Mike Tyson if you want. 'Cause he's in there.
That's the easiest one.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
I just love it. I love Alan, dude. He's just.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be Alan. I don't know. I guess I would be who's the dentist guy?
Pulling out your own tooth or whatever.
Yeah, probably. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, what's the next one? What other form of racing would you like to try? Any type of racing. Like for me, I'd like to do like F1 or something like that, or even those Kamaz trucks in Dakar. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I'd like to try road racing, Moto America or something like that. It could be cool.
That's freaking sketchy though, going that fast on a dirt bike. Woo-wee. All right, the last one's the most important one. What is it, Case?
Most important one. Chips and guac or fries and ketchup?
Chips and guac, hands down.
That's good. We've only had one person say fries and ketchup. So, hey, thank you very much, Ryan, for coming on with us. We really appreciate you staying up late, man. So, would you mind telling all of our audience how to get in touch with you?
Yeah. I mean, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, R_Sipes. That's my handle, whatever you call it. And you can watch the General Sipes series on RedBull TV or YouTube.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much for staying up so late with us. Clearly, I don't think we need to say it. I think you're going to kick ass this year, but good luck, dude. We're all going to be paying attention to you, and we're going to enjoy watching all those videos on YouTube with RedBull General Sipes, dude. Thanks so much. Got anything else, Case?
All right.
No, we're good. Appreciate it, man. It's great. Great time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ryan. Good night.
Have a good one.
All right. See ya.
Man, thank you so much to Ryan Sipes. That was awesome. I still can't believe,
there's so much that goes into it.
The depth.
I'm just dumbfounded. There's so many more things, but you can't get into all of it. You know what I mean?
He makes it sound like he pushes it off like it's easy.
I know, right? There's no chance. I just imagine that. I wanted to get to the, how many hours are you wrenching? But I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about it, but it's got to be just forever.
And well, I guess it's a mindset too, though, because he grew up doing it.
Right.
And he's always enjoyed doing it. So maybe let's just say 10 hours of wrencher for him ends up feeling like 2 hours.
Right.
So that is pretty cool that he's able to do it and do it with support, from Red Bull and from all the people that he has behind him. I think it's so awesome. I'm excited to see the next episode.
I can't wait.
And watch it. So thank you very much to Ryan Sipes. The comments that came in were pretty cool, man. I'm glad that he was able to answer those for you guys too. It's neat to see when people have the background story like that.
Right.
Like the inside scoop.
You missed your moto for fishing. That's great.
That's so cool though. I remember sometimes it sparked some almost missed motos of ours too.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys very much for tuning in, watching, talking to Ryan and hanging out with us. So definitely go visit Ryan, R_Sipes on Instagram. I think you can just do Ryan Sipes on Facebook. And I don't have Twitter, so I don't know. It might probably R_Sipes at Twitter. But definitely go check out the Red Bull series called General Sipes on YouTube. Yep. It's bitchin'. We want to invite you guys again to comment more, like more, sign up for all our notifications. Hit us up in the DMs. Make sure that you're communicating with us so we can make the show better for you. Thank you very much, Shock Therapy, for supporting us. Use the code DIRTLIFE to get discounts on Shock Therapy products, and call them. Use the code DIRTLIFE when you talk to them. Zollinger Racing products, same code, DIRTLIFE, and you can get discounts on their products, ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Thank you to Rigid Industries, and thank you to Solder Weld. We will see you guys next week. Thanks, Case.
You got it.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.